Now, last night we had stew for dinner, and I've eked it out to do us 2 nights.
Do you know what I had last night,
I
Greta?
don't know.
I had nothing.
Aye, well, maybe it'll take a few of those inches off you, you big fat slob.
Big fat slob.
Good morning, Gerry.
Sorry, I just
Thank
thought
you, Greta.
I just wanted to join in there. Right, go away now.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Look, why is my thing not working? For God's sake. Oh, there it is. Excuse me. I didn't apply the finger in the right place. I'd haven't been trained properly by Ken. Here's a song I play every now and again, and people seem to like it. It's a singer called Stu Boss. It's called I Hope You Missed Me.
Well, she told me a sad story. Put my suitcase in my hand. Funny how sometimes things just don't go as planned. And I bet you may be wondering if I'm sorry, well, I'm not. You haven't even crossed my mind since I kicked the spot. And I'm sure you heard the stories. Say I'm drinking in the street. Say I'm bitter and I'm cursing over babe that ain't me. Yeah, I hope that you find happiness. Hope you fall in love. Hope that you get everything head's been picking up. And when it all works out for you and all your dreams come true, just one little thing, honey, I really hope for you. I hope you miss me. I hope you miss me like I miss you. I hope you miss me. Yeah, I hope you miss me like I miss you. Wanted you to leave me, yeah, I couldn't wait to go. You were always crying, and all you ever said was no. Make no mistake about it, I'm as happy as can be. You got your life, I got my life, and there ain't no in-betweens. Yeah, I hope that you find happiness. Hope you fall in love. Hope that you get everything head's been thinking of. And when it all works out for you and all your dreams come true, just one little thing, honey, I really hope for you. I hope you miss me. I hope you miss me like I miss you. I hope you miss me. I hope you miss me like I miss you. Oh, yeah, you and I won't ever know. Won't know the feeling of a lasting love. The way I felt to hold your hand for 40, 50 years and plan. Every dream that has to stay. How it all just love and slip away. I hope you miss me. I hope you miss me like I miss you. I hope you miss me. I hope you miss me like I miss you. I miss you. I miss you.
That's good. I Hope You Miss Me by Stu Boss. You know it's good because you realise that if you saw that guy, and I don't know what he looks like, if you saw him auditioning for Simon Cowell on X Factor, he wouldn't get through to boot camp. That's how you know it's good. Good morning. Everything okay in there? Who have we got today?
Janet.
Just Janet.
No, we're waiting for the arrival of Emma.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything we should do to prepare for her coming?
Well, Emma likes the show up and running before she appears.
She doesn't like to come in when it's just stuttering the way it is now.
No.
That's good.
So.
Let me just say before I begin that the number to ring this... Do you know what I did this morning?
No.
What I did this morning? A gentleman rang... I must apologise. A gentleman rang this program.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Because the gentleman may not know.
No, but I'm going to tell him because I want to explain.
But you understand, the gentleman may not know what he has.
But that doesn't matter.
Oh, yes, it does.
I don't have any preconceived
Well,
notions
that's
about
entirely
my
up to you.
That's entirely up to me.
If I were you, I wouldn't.
I'm going to do it anyway because, do you know why? Because I'm not like you, because I'm an honest person. I'm a straightforward kind of guy. I'm like Tony Blair. I'm just a public service kind of guy. You know? Even though I've got millions, I'm just a public service kind of
That's
guy.
entirely up to you.
I just want to help the people. That's all I want to do. There's Emma in now. With no ceremony. Hello, Emma. Good morning. How are you? She looks nice today. Look, she threw the chair out.
She didn't like that particular chair.
She rejected the chair immediately. Is that the way she is today? Why did you bring it into me?
I think it's the chair that you had.
No, I'm in the chair that I had.
Have you still got that?
Yeah. Do you not see me sliding down, disappearing from view, becoming Oliver Plunkett again? No, let me just explain to that gentleman. A gentleman rang this programme, rang my personal desk. Where did he get my number? I've got a personal BBC number here. How did he know? Did the reception put him through to him? And he said,
ring reception, say, put me through to Gerry Anderson.
And he said, hello. And I said, good morning, this is Gerald Michael Anderson here, spinster of this parish, because I was in particularly good form this morning. And he went, what? I said, Gerald Michael Anderson here, you're through to the Gerry Anderson Show. I said, what? I said, you're through to the Gerry Anderson Show. He said, who are you? I said, I'm Gerry Anderson. He said, I don't want to speak to you. I said, well, who do you want to speak to? He said, I want to speak to the Nolan Show. I said, why? And he went, never mind. And I said, what's the number of the Nolan Show, sir? I gave him my mobile phone number. And I don't know why I did that. Because it's the number that we give here. 08459 555 678. That's the number of the Nolan Show. I gave him my mobile phone number. There's a man walking around there trying to ring me because he wants to give out to Stephen Nolan about something. How weird is that? Yeah. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme. Hello?
Yes.
The number to ring if I want to contact this programme is my mobile number, which is 08459 555 678. The email address of this programme is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk, and the text messaging service is 81771. People have come to us for help. And what do we do when people are in desperate situations? We try and alleviate it. A lady called Joan sends me an email just about 5 minutes ago, and she said, my daughter lifted £140 in cash to pay a bill from an ATM at Green Island Garage yesterday. Put it in her pocket whilst dealing with her 2-year-old, went straight to pay the bill, put her hand in her pocket, and lo and behold, the money was gone. She immediately retraced her steps, but needless to say, no sign of the money. This was very hard-earned cash and hard-saved cash to pay a bill. If any of your brilliant listeners found any money on either Upper Green Island Road or Upper Station Road, Green Island, it would be a big relief all round, as this kind of money isn't easy to gather up in a day or two. That's a lady who leaves her mobile number. So if anyone comes across that money, by all means, don't keep it. Give us a ring here, 08459 555 678.
Did you see the football last night?
No, I managed to avoid it.
No, dear. I was delighted to see that Wayne Rooney scored again, playing away from home.
Nice to see him scoring on the pitch for a change.
Yes.
Did he score last night, really?
Yes, playing away from home.
Well, what was the score? Who were they playing?
Sweden.
No, I think you'll find it wasn't Sweden.
Wasn't it?
No, because I'm just looking at a newspaper in front of me, and it's
Switzerland.
No, it's Switzerland, not Switzerland. It's Switzerland.
That's what I said.
Switzerland. It's like Portugal. Portugal and Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And here's another man, a TV critic, a gentleman called B. Simpson, his name is. He said, did you watch the Mercury Prize last night? I didn't watch that. It was the awarding of the Mercury Prize, which is that obscure prize for what critics regard as being the best album of the year. And whoever wins that is never heard of again, because usually it's somebody quite good. 2 heavily pregnant women and a man from a certain ethnic background couldn't have ticked many more boxes. The BBC have gone completely mad with its pursuit of PC. I thought Fern and the other one was going to burst live on TV. Is that Fern Britain, I wonder? The winners, the XX, were crap. Biffy Clyro, Corinne Bailey-Rae, brilliant. Is this what it has come to? The BBC schedules the arrival of staff babies, or indeed other significant medical events to coincide with significant television programming. What next? Cian Coyle, heavy of arse, commenting on his favourite park bench with Frank Mitchell prior to his pile operation. Gerry Anderson's scalp bleeding, waxing lyrical on why Malachi Cush's grin appears to resemble that of a serial killer's whilst waiting for Elton John's spare wig to retire. There's a very bitter man there. Do you hear him?
You would need to talk to Malachi. That's a very good point that man just alluded to there about Malachi's smile.
He looks like a serial killer.
He's not happy. It's not. He's scared. He's nervous. He's nervous.
Where have you seen him smiling?
He's on every week on TV.
Is he? Where? I haven't seen him on TV. Where's he on?
Him and Tina Charles. That 7:30 programme.
What? Where?
UTV.
UTV?
Yeah.
He's on TV every week?
Yeah.
Every night?
UTV Tuesday 7:30 programme, whatever it's called.
What's the programme? What do they do?
It's 7:30 live or 7:30 live.
7:30 live? Is it
something
only
like
on
that.
once a week?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It
Is he
could
on
be
every
on
night?
twice a week for all I know. I don't know.
And-
But I see him once a week.
And he's on TV? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't
Tina.
know that. Tina who?
Do you know Tina?
We Tina?
Tina.
Tina who?
Tina just is sitting the sofa beside.
That's right,
no,
Tina sofa.
Tina
And he's on. What does he do? Does he sit and smile badly?
Campbell.
Tina
Janet,
Campbell.
Tina
Yeah,
Campbell.
she's
Sorry,
nice,
Tina,
yeah.
if you're listening. Sorry.
Sorry, Tina.
Yes.
It's all right. And Malachy's on with her. See, I don't know anything. So
Malachy sits beside her.
I've stopped watching television. What happened to the big guy with the teeth? Looked
He's
like
got
tombstones.
big, long legs.
Remember there was a guy with teeth? You look like tombstones. What happened to him?
Oh, it's Malachy now.
No, he's another. But has he got teeth that look like
No,
tombstones?
Malachy smiles.
Is it the wrong smile?
It's the smile of a man who's looking down the barrel of a gun. You know.
We know that smile, don't we?
Yes.
That's a terrified smile.
Yes, he
Well, what
is.
should we do to him?
You need to talk to him.
I'll talk to him.
Okay.
About his smile. Well, I don't know whether I should.
But he's
do
very
that.
good. I just want to say that.
Is he good on television?
Yes, he's very natural. He's very, very
Is
good.
he?
Yes.
Well, why is he smiling badly if he's good on television?
Because no one has told him. Paul Clark should take him to one side.
Paul Bearer. Listen, when is he on? On a Wednesday night?
Thursday.
Why are you so? Why are you so hesitant?
Because it's. I
you don't
knew
know anything. I'm asking you.
I knew it started with a T.
It's as if you're afraid of any answers you're going to give.
I didn't know if it was
I
Tuesday.
mean, I'm not trying to get at you. I'm just asking you questions. I'm not trying to insult you or anything. I'm just asking you a question. When is he on?
Because I didn't know if it was Tuesday or Thursday.
Well, what do you know now?
I know now it's Thursday.
Thank you.
At 7:30.
All right then.
And he sits on a sofa.
Does he?
And he's got big long legs and a smile.
Has he got big thighs like Gerry Kelly?
No, he's got big long Gaelic player legs.
Gaelic player legs. That's always good on television.
Yeah.
Has he got a hurly bad arm?
No, he looks very good.
Does he?
If,
I'm glad. I must go and watch him tomorrow night. A while back, says Davy, I was in a bar after a band parade, as you do. See that? I've sunk down another foot now.
So did Emma. You and Emma dropped down at the same time.
They'll be talking about us. A while back, I was in a bar after a band parade, as you do, and after a few sociables, I headed off to the gents. This is Davy. As I stood, I hope you don't mind the word piddling. As I stood piddling, I couldn't help but notice a young lad in flute band regalia at the sink, running water over a badly cut finger. Another young chap, in a shafty accent, turns and said, "All right, mate, what happened to your finger?" The young fellow replied in a country twang, "Jizz, boys, lifted the bar stool and a screw sticking out cut the finger off me." The city chap replies, "You couldn't get a claim for that young, you know?"
All right. Talked a couple of hours.
Pretty bad there.
Go on, it's all right.
The young country bumpkin looked up at the ceiling with his eyes in a daze and replied with the most innocent and truthful look in his face and said, "You're right, boy. I could buy a brand new uniform for the whole band with that kind of money." You see? It made me chuckle inside, but on the other side, this boy's love and interest for his band goes way beyond what others outside the marching band community will unfortunately never understand. That's a man trying to fill us in on the inner workings of the mind of a man in a marching band. See, many people regard marching bands as well. Don't realise there's love there.
Of course
love
there
there.
is. Love of the music. That's
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way about rhythm and blues.
I was out walking last night.
What a strange thing for you to
I
say.
went out for a walk around 10 o'clock, and a wee tiny baby walk. I walked for about an hour.
Yes.
And during the time, know when you talk to yourself?
Well, I don't actually, because I don't do that. You seem to think that everyone talks to themselves. They don't, you know, especially out loud the way you do.
I'm talking away to myself.
I know you do, but you see, if anyone walked behind you, they'd think you were off your chunk. But that's another matter.
But I come out with a saying that I haven't heard in a long time.
You came out with it yourself?
Aye.
And you weren't expecting yourself to say it?
And I said to myself, where did you hear that? And I said to myself, oh, I think I know where you got it from. I think you got that from Ballymena.
You're starting to argue with yourself. In
Yes.
other words, you said something, and then you said, where did you get that? And then you said to yourself, oh, I think I know where I got that. Well, where did you get it? I got it from Ballymena. And what did you say to yourself then?
And I said to myself, do you know where I think I got that? And I says, where? And I says, I think I got that from a man called Don Logan, and I think it's a Ballymena expression. I says, are you sure? And I says, yeah, I think it's a Ballymena, but I haven't heard it in a long time.
Well, why don't you just tell us what it is?
It's just a couple of words.
Okay,
Right.
what are they?
I was talking to myself. You see, I was telling myself telling myself a story that I hadn't really heard before.
I know. Okay, well,
Right.
why don't you tell us what the
And
words
I was
are?
saying something like,
What did you say?
right? And then I said something to myself, and I said, in reply to myself, I says, this is it, hey. This is it.
This
And
is
every
it.
time I said something to myself, I said, this is it. This is it. This is it.
In other words, this is it.
This is it. But I think it's Ballymena, hey. You know,
No, I
it's-
think
it's-
that's English.
No,
It's
this
called
is
This
it.
is it.
No, this is it. You don't say it, you say this is it.
That's what's called an accent. This is that.
That's what I think I got in Ballymena. I think Don Logan gave it to
Are
me.
you all right? You okay?
And I said to myself, that's right, I think I remember Don Logan saying that.
This
But
is
I
that.
think people in Ballymena say, this is that, hey.
Well, I told you the
This is
story
it.
about. I told you the story about Sammy Byrne, the flamingo.
This is it.
You
You
said
see,
the
that's
same
what I
thing.
would say to you. You tell a story.
How did they get it out?
How they get
How they get it out?
well, this is that.
This
I
is
would
that.
say-
This is
if
that.
you
You
said
say,
to me,
how they get it out?
How this is that, hey.
All right. Stop. Please.
This is that, hey.
Please stop now.
What's a great expression?
It's a great expression. It's
This is
called.
it.
It's called. This is it.
This is that.
That's enough. Thanks. Jonathan Sims raised to me on the same subject. And he said, "Dear Puppet Chin," that's what he calls me. It's a term of endearment. I've been swatting up my Ulster Scots Academy entrance exam. It's more tricky than you might think. For example, take Einstein's theory. Einstein's theory, Einstein's formula for his theory, or his equation, is E equals mc squared. You're aware of that, aren't you?
This
Many
is that,
people
hey.
are. I don't say that again, please. It translates into Ulster Scots as V equals HLLQ. Ver is energy, which is E, equals mass, which is a heap. Multiplied by alecalim, which is the speed of light, by squared or multiplied by itself is quartered. Or in layman's or Hugo people terms, ver amounts to a while heap with a alecalim at trois shields quartered. So, after me, the Einstein's theory, ver amounts to a while heap with a alecalim at trois shields quartered.
You see, I don't want to say it. Oh, let me say it, please.
Ver amounts to a while heap with a alecalim at trois shields quartered. That's the Ulster Scots Einstein's theory. You see, and people say it's not a language. I am now working on Newton's third Ulster Scots. I'm now working on Newton's third Ulster Scots law, but I'll get back to you on that one. I think there's an apple tree financed our back garden. Do you want that again? Ver equals to a while heap with a alecalim of trois shields quartered. And so said Einstein. He can't be wrong.
There was us talking,
the world.
What?
there was us talking about Ballymena, you see.
You see?
Ulster Scots country, you see.
People think this program just happens by accident.
This is that, hey.
But the point is that every item that's discussed in this.
Sorry, I can't stop saying it. I think it's great, hey. This is that, hey.
Well, Paddy Jenkins started that. Do you remember the big Fairfield shopping centre?
No,
Harry?
you said this is...
Do you know Paddy Jenkins, the actor?
yes.
He was the wee man who said that on the ad years ago. All he did was come on and said, "It's a great shopping centre, hey." That's all he said. Isn't that what he said?
Something like that, hey.
Something like that, hey.
Something like Fairfield Shopping Centre, hey.
I was talking to him the other day. Now, he had a major role in Dancing Shoes.
Yeah.
Every pantomime he's been in. He was in the movie Hunger.
Uh-huh.
He was in all kinds of movies. He's been a actor, professional actor on screen, stage and television for 20 years. He's done wonderful parts. He's done this and that. That's the only thing people remember him for. Every time they see him, they go, "Okay, shopping centre, hey." That's all they say. Or everything he's done in the past means nothing.
Dang, they say it again.
Go ahead.
This is that, hey.
Do it again.
This is that, hey.
Sing it until the man, say it until the man sings.
Oh, well, if you want, hey, this is that, hey.
How they get it out.
Well, this is that, hey.
How they get it out.
This is that, hey.
How they get it out. Many requests for this. Rory Faithfield on the programme last Friday. And him and Phil Davidson had a gig last night in the Black
She
Box.
squinted into the light. Those western rays were far too bright. burning on her skin. Rubbed the sleep out of her eyes and turned her back on darker skies. Said it's time to let it in. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. Walk the path with sunburned feet, drawn by a distant beat to the solitary shore of glistening sands, broken shells, 100,000 fare thee wells, and something new she could not ignore. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. I can see you, better under big blue western skies. Western rays were far too bright on that solitary shore of glistening sands, broken shells, 100,000 fare thee wells, and something new she could not ignore. Something new she could not ignore. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. Under big blue, western skies, big blue, so much better now. Big blue western skies.
That's Rory Faithfield, one of the two Australian singer-songwriters who were in this programme singing live last Friday, and they had a gig in the Black Box last night. Anyone there, let us know how it went on, because this is obviously the Open House Festival is continuing apace, and here's an email. A gentleman says, just shooting you guy an email to let you know about a great sold-out Open House show tonight. Napoleon, a local band, will be supporting Lissy at the Black Box tonight as part of the festival. Just plugging a track that we have up also. There we go. And Lissy, she performed with Mumford & Sons on Monday night and was quite a hit, apparently, yeah. And I must apologise to people. Can you apologise on my behalf to the nice people who send us in text messages? Because for some reason or another, I've tended to ignore them. I don't know why that is. I think it's because the machine is too far away. Could you maybe perhaps...
What do we get this right then? So the people text in the messages, I print them out and I send them in to you.
Yeah, but I have to get up and walk around the desk.
You want me to apologise for you not reading them?
Yeah, because I have to get up and walk around the desk and lift them, and it's too much for me because I'm too busy doing all the mechanical things that one has to do when one operates a program like this. And here's another one. Will you perhaps maybe kind of find another sister?
Well,
could you hand them to me?
Well, Janet could.
Janet can hand them to me.
All right. Janet or Emma will be in.
Thank you. You could get yourself along to the Felice Brothers double-header gig with Wilco and the Marquee on Friday night. That's the Marquee in Belfast. Two of the best live bands in the world. I can't wait for it. A great week of gigs for Belfast. Kicked off the other night with Mumford & Sons and Lissy. A lot of talk about this girl, Lissy. And she's got a track called Oh Mississippi, and I'm asked to play that. I haven't got it, but I will play it. And if anyone's got that, well, maybe they could send it to me. Well done to all at the Open House Festival for superb programming. That is one of the best festivals I think ever came this way. They never fail to improve, although next year will be a huge challenge to better this one.
Mal said that he was at that gig last night in the Black Box. Rory...
Yeah, Faithfield and Phil Davison. What was it like?
He said it was absolutely brilliant.
You see?
So there you are.
I hope it was well attended, did he say?
He didn't say.
I hope it was. Here's a request for
Were
Gerry.
you at it?
No.
Oh, you see?
It was in Belfast last night.
No, it's only up the road, Belfast.
75 miles?
An hour and 15 minutes.
I know, but that means you couldn't drink. Do you think I'm going to go to the Black Box and not have a drink?
Does your life evolve around alcohol?
Yes.
Oh, well then. Okay, there's no
Can you
answer to
please
that,
put a request in for Gary Del... I couldn't. Could you go to some... I've seen you doing it. Yeah, you're horrible.
Yes.
You can go to places and stand around all night and not drink like a big snotter.
Yes,
And
why?
you stand there and you're miserable.
Why?
Because you're afraid the police will catch you on the way back.
Yes, and also because I'm driving your car home.
Ah!
Yes. I drive you home. And that's
I
why I do it. Someone has to be sober and responsible.
Anyway, listen, news coming up. We'll be back 4 minutes past 11.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
The BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Emma Louise Johnston. A Sinn Féin member of the Assembly's Finance Committee has dismissed a call by First Minister Peter Robinson for ministers to come up with savings proposals in preparation for next month's spending cuts. Mr Robinson said the executive had to unite to face the economic challenges. But Mitchell McLaughlin says Northern Ireland's party should not just roll over.
We believe that the executive ministries and ministers should all cooperate together to protect services and to protect the economic interests of this region. And we also believe that we should be working with the other regions, the Scottish and the Welsh assemblies. What we think is incredible is that Peter Robinson is actually inviting the ministers to anticipate the cuts before we even get the budget statement in October the 20th. Let's hear what the budget statement is, and then let's have a united response.
One of Belfast's most upmarket clothing retailers has been placed in administration. Carter Clothing, which has branches on Queen Street in the city centre and the Lisburn Road, sells labels like Armani and Hugo Boss. Carter's owned by Dave Pennock, a former president of Belfast Chamber of Commerce. He opened the Queen Street branch in 1984, expanding to the Lisburn Road in 2006. A number of houses have been evacuated in the Crumlin area following a security alert. Residents from Mill Road have been moved to a nearby community centre. Army technical officers are at the scene. Tony Blair has cancelled a launch party for his memoirs due to be held at Tate Modern in London tonight because of a planned protest by anti-war campaigners. The former Prime Minister had already cancelled a book signing in Piccadilly planned for this afternoon to avoid what he called the inevitable hassle for police and the public. Eggs and shoes were thrown at the former Prime Minister when he appeared in Dublin on Saturday for a book signing. And now with the weather, here's Stav Dineos.
Not a bad looking day, some decent spells of sunshine across most parts. I think better the sunshine across eastern parts around the Belfast area, but showers will work their way in from the west as we go through the morning into this afternoon, and one or two could be on the heavy side. But many places escaping these showers and most places staying dry with light winds. Temperatures expected to reach 18 Celsius in Belfast, that's 64 in Fahrenheit.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
As you've heard in our news, there is a security alert in Crumlin. Mill Road has been closed between Crumlin Road and Main Street. Looking at roadworks and in Omagh, long delays can be expected on the A5 Beltany Road as there is a lane closure from Beltany Grove to Drumlega Road South, with the traffic control in operation until Monday afternoon. And in Ballyclare, Ballycore Road is closed from Riverdale Park to Ballycore Road. That's at the junction of Church Road until 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And at the George Best Belfast City Airport, the 25 to 10 flight from Leeds is expected at 12 o'clock. Aileen Morna reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
And here's what's coming up on Talkback today with me, William Crawley. The cost of the Troubles. The European money that will help ex-security forces members deal with decades of trauma. How many forgotten victims are out there? Plus, the Pope on trial. Geoffrey Robertson QC puts the case for the prosecution in his new book out today and says the Pope should face prosecution for crimes against humanity. The Belfast Blitz, your memories of the bombs that fell from the skies and how they changed this city's life forever. Give us a call on Talkback today, 08459 555 678. Your text messages to 81771 and our lines are open from 12 noon.
Hey, the old Pope getting a hard time. Pope on the ropes. There was a competition one time in journalism school. People were asked to construct the shortest, most controversial headline for a tabloid paper, a red top. Guess what won? Pope elopes. Good one, isn't it? During the news there, it said that the Northern Ireland political parties should not roll over. Well, how else are we going to get to tickle their tummies? This is Malcolm Holcomb. Great name. Malcolm Holcomb. Sounds like the noise you make when you're just about to be sick.
I am no mother.
Malcolm Holcomb.
I am no father. Just a little one, not forgotten. Born on your shoulders, never grow older. Just a little one that's not forgotten. There are no tears and no sadness found, 'cause only love can make a sound. We are many as the stars, so few to linger here for so long. We are many as the stars, so few to linger here for so long. We are many as the stars, so few to linger here for so long. One that's not forgotten. There are no tears and no sadness found, 'cause only love can make a sound. We are many as the stars, so few to linger here for so long. We are many as the stars, so few to linger here for so long. We are many as the stars, so few to linger here for so long. We are many.
I think that's sticking, isn't it? That's sticking.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
People who are stoned shouldn't throw glass houses.
Absolutely right. That was Mark. Hello, good morning, madam. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, who's this?
Is that Deirdre Kelly? Are you talking to me?
No, this isn't Deirdre Kelly. Maybe you're Deirdre Kelly. Are you Deirdre Kelly?
Just overexcited talking to you, Gerry.
That's all right. I wouldn't mind being called Deirdre Kelly. It would be a change for me. Be a whole new wardrobe. Deirdre, what can we do for you today?
Well, I'll tell you what you can do for me, maybe, because the biggest show in the country couldn't do it.
Then he's
so
the
I
thing
thought,
that...
God, I should have gone to Gerry to start with.
Absolutely.
Anyway, round the corner from me, I live at Carryduff.
Uh-huh.
And there's a recycling cleansing department, which I had reason to visit quite a bit this week. And there were the nicest bunch of men going about, helpful, pleasant, nice.
Yeah.
And I thought, boy, I bet you they don't get much recognition.
Okay.
So coming out the door, I thanked him, and I said, I'm going to ring Nolan.
Yeah.
And he said, get him to play something by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Now, there was something baby in the title, which I can't remember. Got on the net, couldn't find it, and I thought, right, Nolan couldn't do it, so Gerry will do it.
Nolan didn't do it because it was good news.
That's funny you should say that, Gerry, for I said it's all dismal, it's all banking, all sad news, and there are some lads around there doing a great job. An absolutely great job, and everybody needs a little pat on the back.
The fat boy doesn't respond to anything that's positive. He only rises to the negative. So tell me again what they do.
What does it do? Well, when you arrive with all your stuff, they just take it out and help you and just dump it, and they crack jokes, and it's a well-run council site, but the men just make their job so helpful.
Well,
As a matter of fact, I had a bottle of beer or two in the back, and I said to one of them, sure, take that. And here he is, no, we're not allowed. And I thought, how few or how many would turn that down? So they have to be complimented. I got on to their boss this morning, but I thought, right, hopefully they're listening, and if you can't get it played today.
And where are they again?
At Carryduff Cleansing or Recycling Depot.
Well, you know, this is one of the spirits that lingers here, particularly in Northern Ireland. It's kind of dying everywhere else. And the reason why it lingers here is because for the past 30 or 40 years or so, we've been all meshed in the trouble. So we've had a different life than other people, you know, in other cities. So
that's right.
It's almost as if we're waking up for the first time and everybody's enjoying their lives. And there's a lot of crack. See, when you go to somewhere like Dublin or London or Birmingham or Manchester, you don't get that kind of banter.
No, sure, there's no place like here.
It's all dead. It's all dead.
That's
it's all
right.
gone.
All gone.
But it's not going to last here for a long time. I'd give it another 5 years.
Oh, don't pursue. You're getting like Nolan.
No, I hope not.
Not at all.
No. So we will become blasé. We'll become like, in Dublin.
No, I'll never become blasé.
No, Dublin, I remember I lived in Dublin for years and years, and it was exactly the same as Belfast is now. And it changed because a lot of money came into it and people started to worry about what kind of wine they're drinking.
That's right, darling.
And what kind of car they're driving and what they're wearing.
That's right, darling.
And that'll happen here. It's happening a wee bit already, but it'll take about another 5 years. Once we get used to the peace.
Well, sure, that's if we're all here in 5 years.
Well, yeah, hopefully, I won't be a spiky-haired guy here.
Well, listen, the next time I see you on the Lisburn Road, I'll say hello.
Please do.
That's if you haven't not busy consulting your wine list.
My wine, no, not my wine list, my wine. W-A-N-E, wine list.
Your wine.
List.
So listen, will you do that for me?
Well, who are they again, these gentlemen who are unsung?
Oh, my God, you're losing it, Gerry.
No,
This is the third time.
No, I'm just...
Carryduff Recycling Cleansing Depot.
It's not that I forget, I just want you to say it again.
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
And it was something to do with baby. Something to do with baby.
I'll check that out.
I got on the net and I tried to check it, but to no avail.
All right.
So anyway, Gerry, give it a good blast.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. It's good to see men doing a workaday job being praised because of their good spirit and their willingness to help people.
I talk often on the wee show about a recycling depot here in Derry that I use in the Brandywell area, and the same thing. The guys are so helpful, and it's such that's a great amenity. Facility. People don't use it. See me getting excited. No, what annoys me is that people are prepared to take their grass and dump it out on a laneway or dump it out somewhere rather than take it down to one of these centres.
Do you bring your grass to a recycling centre?
I cut my grass, put it into a black bag, put it into the boot of the car, take it down to the Brandywell recycling department and just leave it there.
I'm surprised you don't wash it before you bring it down because it'll probably be a little dirty.
Well, always cut the grass after it rains, so it is. It is in a way washed.
So the grass will be clean.
Yes, it will bring them down. My wife would say to me, she says, "That you better take that grass down to the brandy mill because it's been lying there now for almost a day." It's, what will the boys think of us? But it's great. There's a call on too. You never avail of those facilities. You never use them.
As a matter of fact, I'm going down to one today.
Excellent. Good man.
I'm going to get rid of my bed.
Where are you going? The
I'm leaving home. Here, this is a very interesting little news thing.
Mr. Kern.
Pardon?
Mr. Kern.
Is on the line?
Too.
I'll chat to him in a moment. I'm just looking at this little news item. Apparently, you can do you know the way in America, if you go to college, we call it university here, but if you go to college, you can do all kinds of strange courses in America that you don't get here. Here they just do things like, sociology and, stuff like that. But in America, you can do all kinds of courses. There's a new course now. It's called Zombie Studies.
Is that right?
Zombie Studies. You can devour classic zombie films and comics and analyse them. I don't know who'd be interested in something like that. Can you think of anybody who would want to be doing
Mr. Kern's on too.
Can you think of anyone in this country?
Mr. Kern, he's on too, sir.
No, seriously.
Aye.
Can you think of any? Listen, I've got a garage full of injections. Anybody want them?
Have you got
I can sell them cheap.
Janet has it.
What?
Janet, she's got it.
Swine flu?
No.
I've got 250,000. Anybody want them?
Who
would be interested? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, good morning. How are you? I was going to say, who are you?
Absolutely wonderful.
Good.
It's a nice day down in Belfast here.
Yes.
The sun is shining.
Yes.
Well, at the moment it is.
Well, that's good.
I'll tell you what you can do for me. I'm looking for a particular book. It's called 61 Hours, and it's by an author called Lee Child.
Lee Child?
Yes.
Isn't he quite popular?
He is quite popular.
Does he write thrillers?
That's right, yeah.
That's right. I think I've heard of him before. And it's called 61.
His main character, Gerry, is a guy called Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher?
Yes.
Well, I don't read fiction, so I don't know, but I've seen his name in the bestsellers lists. Because
yes, you would have,
I always look at them, wondering if I'll ever get on them. And the book is called 61.
Keep hoping.
61.
The books are actually so good. I started to read them, sort of because they were thrillers. And, of course, I thought they were all men's books, sort of masculine. But I took the wife to her indoors to one of his readings down in Belfast. And she was surprised how many ladies there actually were who read the books. So she reads them. So I want to get the book for her. She's read the rest of them, and that's the only one that she hasn't read is 61 Hours. So I want to get, whenever we go on holidays, we can share it. So that's the reason I want to get it.
All right, and anyone out there who knows where you can get a copy of 61 Hours by Lee Child? I mean, you haven't checked the internet. That's where you'd get it.
No, I haven't checked the internet.
I'm told it's on eBay.
It's
why
on eBay.
Why would it be on eBay?
Well, Emma said it's on eBay.
But is it not on Amazon? Ask her to check Amazon.
Emma got a call saying it's on eBay.
I know, but eBay's a wild, complicated way to get a book. Is it not on Amazon or something like that, or Abe Books or something like that?
Well,
ask her to check Amazon. Are you computer?
Maybe.
Are you computer literate at all?
No. I let her indoors do that.
Well, tell her to check that. We're doing that for you now. Is Emma doing that?
www.play.com.
What are you
for
talking
$3.99.
$3.99.
Three.
There we are. It's on www.play.com. There we are. That's it.
Okay.
Get that for $3.99. You can't get service. You can't get service like that anywhere else.
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, not from that other guy that's on early in the morning. I can't remember his name.
No, the
also
chunky
in
boy.
Sainsbury's.
It's also in Sainsbury's. It's also in Sainsbury's.
It's also fabulous.
Okay. Or
Gerry,
any local bookshop. Any local bookshop. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Bye. He mentioned there that his wife heard Lee Child doing a reading from his books. Why don't you ask me if I'm doing any reading from my books soon?
You know your book, Gerry?
What?
You know the book that you have out, your last book, your latest book,
yes.
The Heads.
Yes.
Do you ever think of doing any readings from that?
Well, you know, I'm doing one on Saturday the 18th of September here in Prehen House in Derry, London.
Oh, how nice. What
There's a local literary festival. Yes. Jennifer Johnson and all kinds of people like that will be there. It sounds like a hell of a good day. It's on the afternoon, of course, and the people are invited to come along. I'll be reading some of my best pieces and all kinds of interesting and indeed famous writers will be there.
What time is that?
Oh, I don't know. In the afternoon.
No, the reason I'm asking is because I play golf there, and it's just on the golf course, and I could call in with my chums to hear you.
Why don't you just keep your chums out of it? How about that?
I'll bring me 4-ball in.
Don't be bringing anything like that in. People will begin to talk. There'll be ordinary people there. They'd want to be infected by your 4-ball. Oh, here's a song I meant to play. It's a great song. It's by a fellow called Stephen Dolopoulos, from an album called Straight Jacket. This is called Open Your Eyes. Have a listen to this. This could apply to all your golf buddies.
She brushes through her hair and draws another line, scuffles through her clothes and asks me for the time. The sky is getting grey, her hands are getting cold. Take me through the wind, captured in the woods, silenced in the glaze I never understood. I play my music well, you draw up your designs. Open your eyes, child, don't let it linger long. Open your eyes, child, don't let it linger long. We weren't very close, but brothers we became. He opened up the sky, then faded with the rain. Left here all too soon, with visits in the well. Ruins of the land, ruins of the light. Take me through the stream, across the ancient night. Highways being bought, children being nothing left but fear, let's wash it white as snow. You can take the bed, I'll keep my radio. Nothing left to say, guess it's time to go.
That wouldn't get him into boot camp either. That's Stephen Dolopoulos, Open Your Eyes. What a great song that is. That's from an album called Straight Jacket. That was out 2 years ago. Incidentally, the lady who rang and wanted me to play our Guns N' Roses track for the people down in Carryduff, she said the track was something to do with a baby. Well, we've discovered what it was. It's Sweet Child of Mine.
Yes, that's what. Well, people are texting and saying that's what it is.
Sweet Wayne of Mine.
All right.
Sorry, I turned you off there.
No, Paul's on one.
I know that.
Helen. No, sorry, it's Helen. Janet.
That's okay. On one. Hello, Helen.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? I'm very well.
I'm all right, thanks.
Good.
Anything we can do for you today, apart from, talking to us?
Oh, it's just nice talking to you, Gerry. I've wanted to talk to you for ages.
Will you talk away? Because I'm a normal person. A lot of people think I'm a monster,
I've heard that, but
I was called a gobshite yesterday. I don't like that.
I didn't know you were allowed to say that on the BBC.
I don't think you are, actually, but it's too late now. Anyway, go ahead.
Right, I'm a costume maker living in Derry.
Yes.
And I'm making costumes for a project that's going to America near the end of the month.
Yes.
And it's an Ulster Scots project, and it's about the Ulster Scots heritage in America.
Yes.
So it's people that would have been from here originally or who had ancestors here who've gone over. And one of the characters is Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett, of course. His great-grandparents, or was it great-great-grandparents, were within Derry's walls during the siege.
Exactly that.
And after they came out of the siege, they said, to hell with that, became a cowboys, I'm getting out of here. As any normal person would. I mean, let's face it. I mean, if you're sitting there for 105 days eating rats, anything else is an improvement.
You're right.
And he was from, I do believe his ancestral home was in a place called Dunnamana, just outside Derry, Stoke Londonderry.
That's right.
See, people think I know nothing.
I think you're very clever. You should be on University Challenge.
I should be on the radio.
Yeah. Anyway, I've made his outfit, and it looks fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I need his hat.
Uh-huh.
I've been round all the shops here, and I can get fancy dress ones, which are acrylic, and they look really bad.
You're not talking about a Davy Crockett hat, are you?
I am, yes.
You mean
I need a
coonskin
real
hat?
raccoon hat.
A coonskin hat?
A coonskin hat.
Everybody used to have one of those when we were kids. Did you have one of those when you were wee?
Absolutely. I didn't.
Remember we all wore them.
The tail kept falling off.
Jerry, you could wear it now to hide your...
stop.
Anyway.
Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee.
Greenest land in the freest land in the greenest land in the state of the free.
Shot himself a bar when he was only 3. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier.
That's him.
Born on a mountaintop. Anyway, yes.
So these people are actually going to America with this. So, I could leave it for them to get when they get there, but I can't guarantee that they'll get one.
So you want a genuine coonskin cap?
If I can get one. There's a man who has a shop on the way to Omagh, and he sells telephone boxes. And he does all army surplus, and he's having a look for me because he does a lot of taxidermy.
Okay, it's only natural to assume that a man who sells telephone boxes will get his hand on a Davy Crockett cap.
Well, he said he's going to have a go for me. He's the only man I could think of that would get me a real one.
Listen, let me just say this to you, and I don't mean to boast, but I would say that you will be inundated with Davy Crockett hats before the 12 o'clock, because Davy Crockett being, of course, a well-known Ulster Scot, many people who have gone to America on holidays have obviously bought genuine Davy Crockett coonskin caps and brought them all back, and they're all sitting up in the attic. Because
well, this is what I'm hoping now. I can buy one if it's not too expensive, so that the company could keep it, or if they wouldn't mind lending it me for a couple of weeks while they go on tour in America, and then I can give it them back.
We don't want an old Mickey Mouse one. We want a real one.
I need a real one, even though I'm an animal rights person and a vegetarian, and I disagree with it wholeheartedly. I still need it to look authentic.
Yeah, the point was, in Davy Crockett's day, there was no such thing as animal activists, and they just killed everything they saw. Kill that thing there. If it moves, shoot it.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Excuse me, are you going on tour to America?
I'm not going with them, I'm just dressing them. I'm making the costumes.
And what? Why do you think that's odd?
Well, could you not...
Get one when they're over there.
Yeah.
No, but see, it's
I'm
better looking at it than looking for
here.
it. Better looking at it than looking for it.
Yeah.
So the first place they go to, they might be able to get one. Where's the way? Do you know the
They're
first
going
place?
to New York, I think.
Well, it's very difficult to get a coonskin cap in New York.
No,
Yeah.
never.
Well, where would you go to New York to get a coonskin hat?
I would go down to...
Coonskin hat shop?
Fifth Avenue.
You've never been to Fifth Avenue in your life. And ask somebody,
policeman.
Excuse me, policeman, I'm from Derry. Could you tell me where I could buy a coonskin cap? Yeah, right. Yeah, try that one.
He would tell me to go up the Bronx.
I know where he'd tell you to go, Sean.
Where?
Canal!
I
Go
can't
canal!
say
Go
it.
canal! Go canal! Remember the time we were in America, we were in this taxi and the Chinese guy, and I was looking for a leather coat, and I said, where would I get a leather coat? He said, go canal! Go canal! Go canal! Go canal! We didn't know what. Remember, we were scared, and we discovered it was Canal Street, where all the Jewish quarter, where all they sold all the leather in particular. What a wonderful place. But you probably get one down there, but to hell with it. Get one here before you go. Better looking at it than looking for it. So I would suggest that you will get one. Give us a ring. Anyone got a coonskin cap and wants it to be put to good use.
And it needs to have the tail on.
Needs to have a tail on. Do I have to add that?
Well, some people might just have a fur hat and think it'll do, and it won't. It has to have the curly tail, the stripy tail.
Any person who doesn't know what a Davy Crockett hat is doesn't deserve to listen to this programme.
There's not much point in having a fur hat and no
fur coat and no knickers. Is that what you're trying to say? Excuse me, I'm sorry you had to hear that.
That's okay, I enjoy it.
This is the level of this programme. Oh, well, you must come up to the studio sometime and say hello to us.
I would love to.
Right, anyone out there with a coonskin cap with a tail on it, has to have the tail. Give us a ring here, willing to, that lady's prepared to buy it, but, be far better if you gave it to her, donate it to her, loaned it to her, she'll give it to you when she comes back. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. I guarantee that you'll have one of those before the end of this programme.
Gerry, you're a wonderful, wonderful man.
I know. Thank you
so much. And so is Sean.
No, you've ruined that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Adam says, I don't... Sorry?
Eugene's on too. Do you know that? I know that place where she was talking about on the way into Oma. Did you ever see all the telephone box? Just as I think it's on the Derry Road going into Oma. There's a man who sells the telephone box.
Yes, I can't recall that, to be honest.
There's a man who may know more about it on too.
Okay. Adam says, I don't mean to be a rebel. The real ones never do. We're born apart from ordinary men. This man's talking about people who will go against the grain. People who, well, I would be one of those people. I'm an iconoclastic person. The groundswell is gathering momentum when not 10 minutes ago I gave someone my pay and display ticket in an Oma car park with 40 minutes left. You wouldn't do that. Would you do that?
If it's legal, I would.
It is legal, but you wouldn't do that.
Well, why wouldn't? If it's legal, I would give it to them. If it was legal, but I don't think it's legal.
A fella came up to me. It's not legal.
Well,
no.
I wouldn't do it.
I know, but would you not do it just out of the goodness of your heart?
And I wouldn't. And if someone gave me one, I wouldn't take it in case the police would come and take me away in the Black Maria.
And beat you around the kidneys with a rubber truncheon. Listen, one of the things that people have to be careful about, and I do not mean to disparage this, but I remember a fella, sometimes you misinterpret things. I went into a car park one time and I parked my car and it was a pay and display thing, so I was deciding whether or not to buy a ticket because it was a Saturday. Nobody sometimes you get away with
it. You went into a pay and display.
I don't always pay.
You were deciding whether you would...
Yeah, I don't always pay. I only pay
you
if
were deciding?
Yeah, sometimes I decide that if I don't pay, I'll probably get away with it.
They should take the car from you.
They probably will eventually. If they don't do it, the finance company will. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I see a fella coming towards me. And I didn't like the look of him.
Yeah.
He was a bit burly, hadn't shaved. He was well dressed, but he looked kind of like a bouncer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can't help the way he looked. And he had quite a serious mien on him. Meaning face. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, I'm talking to Janet.
You're not talking to her. You're making frantic signals at her. What's wrong with you?
But I can't talk.
What are you talking about? What's wrong?
Sorry, this is stuff goes on in the background.
But I need to know what it is. It's my programme. What's going on in the background here? Is Janet taking off her clothes? What's going on there?
There's a man holding for me. There's a girl holding for me.
Ooh,
now,
even better.
Anyway, I want Janet to intercept the call.
Intercept the call? Does she not know to do that herself? How long has she been here?
No.
What kind of training has she had?
Who?
Ken has trained her to within an inch of her life.
No, I want Janet to talk to the lady who's waiting for me. And tell the lady that I'm...
Janet to talk to the lady who's waiting for me. Anyway, this guy comes over, and I'm sitting there, and I don't know what to do. I said to myself, I better lock the car. So I pressed the automatic lock thing.
You're sitting in your car, and inside your car, and
this guy's walking. He's looking at me straight in the face, and he's coming over. And he's a big guy.
Right.
I actually think to myself, I've done something. Have I maybe nicked his car on the way in or something,
Now tell me, are you sitting...
Help me, over this way. Over this way.
Right.
Stop trying to pick holes in my story.
No, I just want to picture
Stop picking holes in my story.
I want to picture the scene.
Anyway, and he looks straight at me, and he looks at me all the way over. And he comes over and he goes...
You're also looking at him.
No, but I'm not looking at him all the time, but I'm looking at him because he's walking towards me. I'm not walking towards him.
He could have been walking towards your car and then walking...
He's walking towards me, looking at me straight in the eye. And I'm sitting in the car trying to figure out what to do. So I got the gun out. Right. Anyway, and he came over and he went... on the window.
On your side window?
Side window. He's just beside me face.
Right.
And I'm looking at him and I said, I better not open this.
Why not?
Because I didn't know. I didn't like the look of him. And he didn't smile or anything. He was just going... And then he looked... You know, like people look away. No hard men. They look at you and then they look away and then they look back. They look away and they look back.
Right.
And I said, I'm not opening this. And then he went...
Chicken.
He put up his hands like that there, as if to say, well, what's wrong?
Yeah,
I went, I better open it. Yeah. So I opened it up. He said, how long are you staying here? I said, pardon? He said, how long are you staying here?
Huh.
I said, I don't know. He said, take this ticket.
All right.
He gave me the ticket. There was half an hour on it.
And you used it?
Yeah. But I mean, I said to myself, I misjudged this man.
Yeah, that's
this man came up to do me a favour. And he said,
when was that?
1938.
No, when was that and where was it?
I'm not going to tell you where it was.
I want the name of the car park, the paint display, and when was it?
The Waterside.
Right?
Yeah.
Here? In the Derry?
Yes.
Well, there's a Waterside in Coleraine, you see.
All right then.
Okay, so right in your own city? Right.
My own city, yeah.
Right.
East Bank, yeah.
When was it?
Approximately 4 weeks ago on a Saturday morning.
All right. How long did you stay?
3 days. Is there someone on the line here? Hello? Is there someone on the line here?
Yes, Eugene, too.
Eugene. Hello, Eugene.
Hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Very good. Just listening to that lady looking about the raccoon hat takes me back to the childhood days when you woke up on a Christmas morning and there was a cowboy suit and 6 guns and no.
You sure it wasn't an arm stump? Listen, that's what I was trying to think. I was trying to think of a raccoon. That was it. A raccoon cap. That's it.
That's right. The main reason I ring, Gerry, is in your show band days, Gerry, can you remember a guy called Sean Speedy Hamilton?
So I played in a band with him.
Yes, indeed, you did.
I knew him extremely well. What a wonderful guy. Alas, he's now left us.
That's right. Well, what I've started to do, Gerry, is to upload material onto YouTube.
Yes.
And the first 3 pieces are Speedy Hamilton in performance in a pub in Oma called The Way In.
Yes, yes.
And people can view that if they go to Oma Entertainers.
Yes.
Sean Speedy Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
And there's 3 pieces of Sean, as I say, in performance. And what I intend to do then is to upload more. I've been doing video work for 25 to 30 years now and have endless amounts of material. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is put up a lot of it onto the YouTube for people to see, and there it will stay forevermore.
Good man, good man. Well, is that when Speedy was fat or when he was thin?
It was. He was thinnish and not long before his death.
Well, I might have been playing with him. Am I in the band?
No. I'll tell you who accompanied him on the night was Ray Moore.
Oh, yeah.
And The Way In was a great venue. It's in the Gallows Hill area of Oma.
Oh, I know it well. Yeah.
And we used to have great concert nights there with the Gallows Hill Choir and Gracie's Egg and Spoon Band, which was great. Ray Moore, Shay Turbot, Liam Quealy, and it was a group of men who come together, maybe 15 to 20 men and women, who just rehearsed songs and sang them, and great nights were had in Donnelly's. And Sean appeared there one night, as I say, just sometime before his death. But I have other stuff there. I have on his last official visit to Oma, Ben Kiley.
Benedict Kiley, yeah.
Benedict Kiley. And do you remember the Hawthorne House Hotel?
I certainly do. I'll tell you another place I remember too, is it's still there, the Barrel and Basket.
No, that would be Castle Street.
That's right.
That is gone now.
I used to love
Mickey
that.
Mickey McElroy had it at one
Mickey
time.
McElroy used to talk like that there.
Sorry?
Was it Mickey used to talk like that there, we up high? Anyway, listen, what's your website?
Well, all I can say to you is I'm just learning this computer lark.
That's okay.
And it comes under the heading Oma Entertainers.
Yeah.
The first one is Sean Speedy Hamilton.
Yeah, because Oma, people don't realise this, but I'm sure they do. People say that Derry / Londonderry has a reputation of producing musicians. Nothing like Oma.
Oh, the
a much smaller town.
abundant
It was the most musical place, I think, in the whole of Ireland. There's more musicians, more writers, more came out of Omagh than anywhere else, and a small town at that.
That's one of the reasons I want to share it with people, that just give them an idea of the talent that we even talked about. Ben Cayley there, counted as Ireland's finest writer, and I have him out, and it was his last official visit to Omagh. There was a plaque unveiled to him, and there was a concert in the Hawthorne House Hotel. Where actually Benedict Cayley sung a song, "The Captain with the Whiskers cast a sly glance at me."
And of course, there's Kevin McAleer as well, like all those people, like amazing. Here, listen.
That's right. You were just on about yourself doing some readings. I seen the poster for it last night in Omagh. Kevin's on that bill as well.
I know. It's going to be a good day.
It'll be a good day, and I would hope to get down to.
Please do, and if you come down, come up and say hello. I
certainly will, and I hope you enjoy. Have a wee look at it yourself, and then bring back great memories of Speedy Hamilton. He was a lovely man. Lovely man.
Yeah, he was a genius. I loved him. Okay.
Well, I'll be putting up other stuff over the weeks, and the local papers here will carry the name of the artist or whatever that will appear on the YouTube.
You should be on the radio. You've got a great voice. Hasn't he got a great voice?
Absolutely.
It's a great voice.
Absolutely.
You've got before.
Yeah, you've got a real radio voice. You should be doing commentary.
Could I just have another? I used to be voice of the festival, Omagh Community Festival here in Omagh in the 1980s. And one day we're broadcasting down the main street of Omagh. We had big tannoy speakers on the lamppost. It was called Lamppost Radio, you see.
Yeah.
And I'm playing the track, and they come and knock on the studio door. It was two officers from the RUC, and they said, "Mr. Floyd, you're going to have to turn the sound down because the judge is out there adjourning the court because he can't hear himself sing."
A few guys got off that day.
and the post office closed their doors and wouldn't work. So I was christened Noisy Floyd.
Noisy Floyd, that's a good name. All right, listen, thank you very much, Noisy Floyd.
Right, and have a look at that and enjoy it.
I certainly will, thank you.
God bless
you. Bye. Talking about the guy, this gentleman said, I gave my pay and display ticket in an Omagh car park with 40 minutes left. And I went up and the person said, "How long do you need?" "About half an hour," said the woman. "Here, take this." And she took it. Together, we shared the look of the anarchists, for together we were fighting the system, fighting the establishment. You see, you wouldn't have taken it. You would have said, "Oh, that's not entirely legal. I can't do that." Together we share the look of the anarchists, for together fighting the system. I'm intending going to Tony Blair's book signing, throwing a potato masher at him, but for now I have to content myself with other hedonistic pleasures, like driving my car without an MOT, talking on the phone loud, smoking cigarettes and shooting the 12-bore Beretta at herons who are fishing. Granted, I don't possess 4 pair of hands, but when I'm reincarnated as an octopus, I imagine Buddha will equip me with such. See, a lot of people angry. A lot of people trying to defy the system. People like you holding the system up.
I shook my finger at a girl yesterday.
I'm sure she was very delighted.
No, I shook my finger because she was driving. Where I was driving.
You shook
the car,
your finger at her?
I
like
was
out there?
Yes. Like I was driving the car, she was driving her car, and she pulled up beside me, and she was on the mobile phone.
And you shook your finger at her?
Wait.
Do you know what you should get? You should get yourself a flamethrower. And then when you see people you don't like, you should just incinerate them.
I've wanted a flamethrower for years.
I know, and then you can burn people up. Great show yesterday, kid. A great show made all the more memorable when investigative journalist Frank Mitchell broke the inside story behind the great show. Quoting sources close to Radio Foyle, Frank stunned Ulster to the core when he reported that Mr. Coyle had been suffering from irritable eyebrow syndrome during the show and keeping quiet about it, suffering in silence, so to speak. According to Frank, staff at Radio Foyle became alarmed when Coyle's eyebrow began to curl and uncurl of its own volition, like a giant hairy caterpillar. Staff were worried it may turn into a butterfly. Poor Janet Nemo went into hysterics. Only quick thinking by Michael Bradley saved the day. when he left his post to loosen the girl's clothing, which he did time and time again. As the eyebrow became more active and agile, Anderson yelled, "We need Botox! We need it now!" 50 injections of high-grade Mexican Botox were inserted into Coyle's face. The eyebrows settled down, and the show continued. Radiofoil doctor Willie John Patel said later, "Amazing, brilliant, smashing." Tommy, my cat, looked at me and said, "They'll make a film about that." The eyebrow from the Black Lagoon. "Will you go and see it?" "Not a chance," I said. "I'd rather go and see Avatar meets Shrek at old Mother Riley's haunted house." "Throw in the Three Stooges," said Tommy. "You've got a hit there." I stood back and gazed in wonder at Tommy's prodigious perceptibility. I really must sew some buttons on the fork of his little leprechaun trousers. Having nothing better to do, Tommy and I decided to write a 3-act play called Stephen Nolan and the Bun Fight at the B.O. Corral. Tommy and I staged the play later that night in a rundown Boy Scouts tent at the back of the Europa Hotel. It got rave reviews. "I laughed until I wet myself and others," said the Irish News. The newsletter said, "This is the best play what I have ever seen." The Telegraph said, "Oh, let's get a photograph of a celebrity on the front page. If Harold Pinter were alive, he'd run out in front of a lorry." "Laugh? I thought I'd never stop," said the Jewish Chronicle. Jimmy Dole in the Sunday World was a bit more scathing. "Women cast and cat involved in drunken, drug-fueled orgy after disappointing farce." Of all the reviews, only Jimmy Dole hit the nail on the head. Jimmy Nail wasn't too happy about it. "Crocodile shoes, crocodile." Oh, here's a song. Here's Egg-Bound Honey. I'm in queer form today. I might have to be tranquilized by a gun. Sorry, that was a burst of volume there. There was no need for it. I lost control.
Walked into the room dressed in satin and navy, ought to be somebody's lady. It's all that you need. Up at the bar there's no need to order. Everything's done for her. Just has to sparkle and shine. Candles are lit, flowers arranged at her table. There's a message from Gable, says he's running behind. She's the queen, she's a lady, she's a one of a kind. She's forgotten all the life that she's left far behind. She's the dreamboat of many, sails over stormy seas. She's a two-faced lover, she's a star in distress. Every line is perfect cause it comes from the best. She's a household honey, front page VIP. And defeated by some fast rising star. She feared that one day she'd be replaced and deleted. Now her contract's completed. Where does she go? There's looks and the stares she's led from her table. What about Gable? Well, he don't give a damn. She's the queen, she's the lady, she's a one of a kind. She's forgotten all the broken ones that she's left behind. Was the dreamboat of many, adrift on the stormy seas. She's a star-crossed lover, now the star's in a mess. every line is perfect and is cut by the best. She's a household honey, now it's all R.I.P.
Household honey, that's Barry Fleming, or as we've rechristened it, housebound honey, or alternatively and recently, egg-bound honey, after the hen that... Did we ever find out if the egg was ever freed from the hen's scrotum, or whatever it is you call it?
Yes.
Was it?
The hen is happily laying. It's all right now, so it is.
Happily laying?
Yes. A man phoned and he asked for your help. He says, would you remember a little toy that was out years and years ago, over 30 years ago? It was a Ralph Harris, a little like
stylophone.
What?
A stylophone.
Was it what they called a stylophone?
A little musical instrument. It was horrible,
with a wee pen you press.
That's right, yeah. Sooty used to play it.
Well, he's got one, and it's in the original box, and it is in mint condition.
He's got a stylophone in the original box?
In the original box, and it's in mint condition, as if it was just coming off the shelf in the shop. And he says, he just wants to know, is it valuable?
I would say so. I would say so, yeah. Particularly in the original box, because...
And he wants to know, where would he go to get that value, or can anyone give him any help?
Okay, anyone able to help that man? He's got a Ralph Harris stylophone in the original box. Wants to know if it's worth anything. Well, I would say it probably is. Anyone out there who knows where he could go to get that valued, or a little advice or a little information, give us a ring here, 08459 555 678. Text messages here. Here's one which is particularly educated. This is an ode to the lovely Gerry who makes my mornings very merry. And then there's Sean. Now he's a man. He keeps the peace and keeps things calm. Last week we had an egg-bound hen and a sentimental trailer that lost its big end. Then 2 wee women lost their purses and the crazy wild man whose rap ends in curses. Which it doesn't, actually. We discovered that it doesn't. We thought he said something terrible, but what he actually said was, a pouch of baccies. I have tried to text him with this poem of mine, but then your show runs out of time. If I've missed it, then I'm so thick. But it's because I'm in bed, feeling sick. Sorry I can't reveal my naughty plume. Of the secret rhymer, you'll never know whom. Well, of the phone I must go and choose Sean and Gerry for a great show. Isn't that nice?
It's lovely.
You see, not all text messages are
There's
stupid.
an avid alternative music listener says, when they heard you talking about Speedy Hamilton, said it brought back to mind the great song by the late Billy Brown, Cinderella.
That's
I
right.
want to know, is there any chance you could play it?
I haven't played that for a long time.
I know.
I will. I looked that out, actually.
Well, was Speedy Hamilton in that band?
No. Speedy Hamilton was a fella called Sean Hamilton. His original nickname was Sean King Size Hamilton, who sang in an early version and the most popular version of a show band from Omagh called the Plattermen, who were popular throughout the country and throughout Britain, and very big band indeed. He was a big fat man then, but then he lost a lot of weight and he had a couple of wee problems and he became quite thin. And he had a band in the 70s called Speedy Hamilton's Rock and Roll Circus. And I joined that, and that was the greatest band ever because we never rehearsed. Everything was all
you're saying that.
stalled
Well, you see, when they were the big band, was that when Brian Call was the lead singer?
Yes, indeed. When they were one of the most popular bands in Ireland.
They were indeed. Mm-hmm.
And they used to sing, "Shout! Everybody shout! Shout!"
That Lulu song?
Yeah. That was his pièce de résistance.
What about the man on one?
What about him?
There's a lady, Emma tells me. Sorry. That's,
the man on one is a lady? All right, then. The man on one is a woman. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Sorry to introduce you firstly as a man, but sometimes people make mistakes. How are you today?
I'm fine, Gerry. This is Ida here from Hoggle.
A Hoggle, okay.
Yes.
What can we do for you today?
Well, as I told your researcher,
excuse me, you told my researcher?
Yes.
Did they say they were a researcher?
Well, I said she was a researcher.
That's okay, you just made a mistake. All right, go ahead.
Did you notice I never said hi?
I know.
No, what I'm ringing about is I have a caravan in Castle Rock, the best caravan in Northern Ireland. It's O'Neill's Caravan Park.
Yes.
Right? But a couple of weeks ago, I mean, I've been there 15 years.
Uh-huh.
And I've got a wee resty dog, and I walk him along the beach. And 2 Thursdays ago, walking along the beach, and I saw this wee pool, and there's this small fish, like a wee trout,
Yes.
and it was sort of panting and going on and on and on. And I thought, oh gosh, I'm an animal lover, and I thought I'll just put it in. And did I suffer any pain like it? It was awful.
You lifted it?
I did it, put it back into the pool, but I found out later on the internet that it's called a weaver fish.
A weaver fish?
Yes.
And it stung you?
I don't know what it did, but anyway, came back up, and I was in absolute agony. My hands swelled away up, my arm, everything. And then I'd learned later that a couple of people died with having this. It must be the barbs, you know, on the back.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
See, this is what's wrong with God, you see. He makes
Pardon?
things, and this is what's wrong with God. He makes things, and then you look at them and say, I'll help that wee thing, and then they turn on you.
I know it did. It turned on me.
And how did you get treatment?
No, I didn't bother.
You didn't bother? Well, are you okay now?
No, my thumb's still way swollen up, but my arm has gone down, and my hand has gone down. But I still feel a wee bit of pain, and I'm just wondering, has anyone else experienced this?
Well, never mind that. You should go to the doctor right away. You don't know what that is.
No, I don't actually. No.
Go to the doctor if you don't know what it is.
Have you ever heard of that, Gerry?
Never. But
No.
obviously it's a little fish that you should have kept away from. Or perhaps...
But in fact, when I think back on it, and that wee pool, there was a couple of wains in there, and they were in that wee pool.
That's right, yeah, they could have been done as well, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then my poor dog, he may have stepped. Now, apparently this fish is under the sand. I've never experienced in my life. You know, have you ever heard of it?
A weaver fish.
Aye.
Is anyone checking that up in the... Is anyone...
I did check it up.
Did you Google it, did you?
I did, aye.
What did it say?
It said that it's deadly. So I'm still living, you know. But anyway, I was born in Bushmills, and I lived near Port Ballantrae. I've never experienced any of that.
I'm sorry to be laughing, sorry.
I know.
Somebody just said it was deadly.
Honestly, I went up, walking up, and the pain was excruciating.
I know. Well, listen,
Now,
you go and see about that just in case there's some lingering poison
no, but
there.
after saying that, I'm a great believer in methylated spirits.
So am I.
No,
Especially with white
suffered
lemonade.
psoriasis.
Yeah.
And I back up to the caravan, and did that, and then I thought I'll boil the kettle, and I'll put salt in it.
Yes.
And apparently that is the best thing to do with, like, really hot water.
Yeah, but you don't know what it is, you see. How can you treat it if you don't know what it is?
I know.
You should go to the doctor, just make sure it doesn't have any lingering symptoms. You should go to the doctor, seriously.
Oh, well.
No, do go.
But I would like to put it over if anyone else has experienced this.
Yeah, to watch themselves.
And do you ever notice I never said hi once?
I know, I noticed that, and you're from Ballymena and everything. Let
I'm
Sean
a
do his...
hawker.
Say your thing.
This is that.
This is that.
This is that.
How they got
No, none of that, no.
No, but you're from a hostel, which is near Ballymena, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Well, listen, you go to the doctor about that, and be very careful.
But I would like to warn,
Yeah.
now, a couple of ladies I met in the caravan park, I said from there 15 years, O'Neill's Caravan Park, I have to put that up.
Okay,
Best caravan park in Northern
I
Ireland.
think I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of ladies said that their nieces had experienced that, and they had to stay overnight in hospital.
Dear. What did it look like, the wee fish?
It was like a wee trout.
Like a wee trout?
Aye, and I thought I'd do the wee thing a good turn.
Good Samaritan.
And,
You should have stamped on it.
that's what someone else said. Anyway, Gerry,
Yes.
put it over and see if anyone else has experienced that.
And you go to the doctor, okay?
Right.
Get yourself checked out, because you never know. All right?
No. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Gentlemen, and Carrie Duff, they want to hear Guns N' Roses.
Yes. just before you play Guns N' Roses, see that Ralph Harris thing?
Yes.
That the man has. Should he take that along to your the Ulster Museum on Saturday? Would that be the sort of thing he could do?
Not really, no, because that's kind of that's more of a collector's thing rather than a museum thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Not today. That thing we're doing in the Ulster Museum is between 10 and 2 o'clock on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. If you've got any kind of object that you're curious about in your house, maybe it was left by your family, anything that you think might have any historic value, something that you're curious about, you don't know what it is, you don't know where it's from, you don't know how old it is, you don't know what it is, there'll be all kinds of experts there on it's to do with the history of the world and 100 objects. Those little films now are on every night. Have you seen those?
Apparently it was on last night.
It's on every night this week and will be on every night it'll be repeated this next 3, 4, 5 weeks.
My wife's taking me to the Ulster Museum on Saturday. She wants to find out more about me.
The only thing, see when you're in the museum, try not to move too much.
What about your Guns N' Roses?
It's not playing.
Put the wee mouse up and click it.
It's one of the greatest guitar riffs of all time. You just play the same thing all over the whole programme. That's a marvellous economy. Turns out that stylophone isn't worth an awful lot either. There's one going on eBay for a tenner. Lots of information about the weaver fish. Scary information about the weaver fish. Don't have time to tell you about that, but maybe perhaps we'll mention it tomorrow. It's about all we have time for today. This is Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. One tires quickly of this. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30.
It's 12 o'clock. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talkback with me, William Crawley.